Good afternoon, everyone. Um, this is actually my first time to try live streaming using StreamYard, and I am happy to see you this afternoon. If you can please write a comment in our live chat to check if you really can or if you can see me and hear me right now. Okay, so I see a comment here. That means we can proceed with our discussion for the remaining Google applications that we need to understand, that we need to use for the Google Educator Certification Level 1. I am happy that you are able to join me this afternoon. So, this is the continuation of what we have started yesterday. Okay, so for this afternoon, we are going to talk about the following Google applications. So we have Sheets, Forms, Classroom, Sites, Groups, and YouTube. And then later, before we end our meeting, we are going to talk about how to register, and I will be providing some tips on how we can pass the exam. Okay? So let us now go ahead and open the file that we are going to use this afternoon. Actually, I am going to share three files with you that you can use also even after the training. So you can make use of them for your review. The first file that I am going to share is this one. I would like you to look at the banner on the screen. You can see there the link. Again, that's bit.ly forward slash GSE Part 3. And I will also put that in the comment section so that you can just press that and then go to that link directly. So I'm currently entering that in our chat box. Okay. So there you can find it in our chat box. I would like you to just simply click that, and the expectation is you will see the file that will also include the challenges that we are going to need for for you to practice the skills that you will learn. Okay, so let's begin. Or of course, I have to introduce myself. Just like yesterday, I am going to discuss also the different Google applications. And my name is Victor Nilo Repatacodo, and I will be your presenter up until later for the discussion of the tips on how to pass GEC Level 1. You can add me on Facebook, that is Victor Nilo Repatacodo. And then you can also subscribe to my channel, which is 5 Minute Lessons by Victor. I am currently a Google for Education certified trainer. And I'm also an instructor at Pat's College of Aeronautics in Parañaque City. So there. For the sheets, we make use of sheets to create, update, and modify spreadsheets. And the good thing about Google Sheets is it's online. So we can also make use of it to collaborate with other people. We just have to share it. Yesterday, I taught you how to share file in Google Docs and Google Slides. So the procedure is the same. But don't worry because later I am also going to share that with you, how to share a file. So for this afternoon for sheets, here are the things that we have to talk about. They are how to launch the Google Sheets. What are the terms that we need to understand? Because maybe in the examination you will be seeing terms that might be new to you. So we have to familiarize with them. We also have to know what are the formulas and what are the predefined formulas called as functions. We also know how to sort. Let's say you have a list of names and you have to sort it. So we can make use of Google Sheets also to do that particular action. We will also have formatting of the spreadsheet and creating chart, and of course, how to share it with other people. So let's begin with how to launch. Uh, at the upper right side of the screen, when you go to google.com, you will see the Google Apps Launcher, which is the 9 dots. When you press that, you will see a menu of different Google applications. So from there, you can select the sheets. So it appears like this. However, let's say during the exam, for some strange reason, you are unable to see that. You also have other options to open the Google Sheets, and they are by going to sheets.new or sheets.google.com. So I will demonstrate that on my computer right now. So I'll go to another tab and I'll type in sheets.google.com and I'll hit enter, and the expectation is to see the home screen or home page of the Google Sheets. This is not yet the spreadsheet. This is like the interface where we are going to find the files that we already have, the templates, and the button which we have to click to start or to create a new spreadsheet. So let's say we are ready to create one. So I'll just simply press the blank button here and we will see this screen. Okay. Okay, so at the upper left side, this is again, we are going to put the title or the file name of our spreadsheet. So I'll click that and then I'll type in, let's say, demo for GEC level 1 trainees. So that's our file name. And then at the bottom of that, we will be able to see the menu bar. This is where we can find the different tabs. And then at the bottom, we also have the different tools or the shortcuts of the different functions that can be done in Google Sheets. There. And then here at the bottom of the toolbar, you will be able to see these letters that signify the columns and then the rows which are indicated by numbers. I'm sure you have tried offline spreadsheet applications because we need them for, let's say, computation of our students' grades. So the function of the Google Sheets is similar to that. But I think the good thing about Google Sheets is it doesn't give you a lot of a lot of options that sometimes overwhelm us, that sometimes make things confusing. We are assured that in the Google Sheets, the functions that we can find there are really the ones important for teachers. So there. Okay, so let me just go back real quick to our chat box. Maybe there's some questions that have been posted already. Okay, so I can see all your comments. Thank you very much for participating today. Okay, so let's go back to the file. Again, for the file, if you haven't accessed that, there's a banner on the screen. The link is bit.ly/GEC part 3, and you can also see the link in our chat box. Okay, so moving on to our next slide, let's familiarize ourselves with the things that we will see in a typical spreadsheet. Let's say, for example, it's already filled out. As you can see, these are the indicators of the rows, and these are the indicators of the columns. So letters for column and then numbers for row. The intersection of the column and row is what we call a cell. So for example, here, the number 6 is actually in cell C3 because that's the intersection. And in the cell, we can put letters, we can put words, phrases, sentences. We can also put numbers and, of course, formulas and functions. Another term that I think we have to know because maybe that will be used in the examination is the word range. So when we say range, it is basically a group of cells denoted by colon. So let's say equal sign sum open parenthesis C3 colon C4 close parenthesis. So that means from C3 to C4 that will be computed or that will be included in the function sum. Okay. Let's say it's C3 to C5 or C3 colon C5, then that means the C4 is included in the range. So whatever is included in the range, that will be part of the computation. So range is denoted by or indicated using the colon symbol. It's just like this. So if you're new to different functions in Google Sheets, don't worry because later I am going to demonstrate how we make use of functions and where we can find them in Google Sheets. So let's now talk about formulas. Google Sheets is just like uh, a paper, pencil, and calculator put into one. Okay. With that being said, we will be able to compute using the Google Sheets. Therefore, we have to know how to put formulas so that it can perform the things that we needed to give us. The formula is just basically the equation that we will supply to our Google Sheets so that it will give an output needed in the spreadsheet or in our file. Here are other examples of mathematical operators used in formulas. So you have plus, minus symbol or hyphen. You have asterisk for multiplication, forward slash for division, and the caret for exponentiation. So here is an example, equal sign C3 plus C4. So if we are going to hit enter, the result will be 16 because the 6 and then the 10 will be added. Notice that I made use of the cell name, not the actual number. The reason behind is it's better to use cell referencing or the name of the cell in order for the output to be updated also once you make change the content in the cell. Okay, so for example, you change this to 7, so there's no need for you to change the formula because it will be automatically updated since we are using the cell referencing, okay, or the name of the cell. So moving on to the next, we also have to know what is function. So the good thing of using Google Sheets is it has built-in or predefined formulas. We just make use of them and then follow its instructions on how to use it, and then the result will be given to you instantly. So for example, I have a question, what is larger? The numbers are 50 and then 2. So we can make the Google Sheets give the output to us by making use of a particular function. So in this example, there is a function called max in which it will give the maximum number from the given range. So I think at this point, we are ready to demonstrate how to put functions in Google Sheets. Um, and that is by going to the Insert tab, going to the function option, and choosing the name of the function. So I will demonstrate that in a live file. So here, for example, is the file that I already created earlier. So I will increase its size so that everyone can see it better. So as you can see here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 columns. The first four columns contain the data that were already provided. So let's say these are the scores of these students. And then on the right side, we also have the scores. So let's say this is the score for quiz 1, scores for quiz 2, and scores for quiz 3. And let's say we would like to get the sum of all the scores obtained by a particular student, like Andrea, for example. With that, we just have to make use of the function. Or if you would like to use the formula, it's fine. But at this point, I think it's better we use the function since it's the one we would like to achieve or to use. With that, I'll simply click the cell and then type in the equal sign. And I have two options actually. I can type it manually or I can go to the Insert tab. I will demonstrate first how to put it manually. Okay. So I'll type in sum. That is if you know the function name already. But if you don't, you can actually make a guess. Anyway, once you start typing a name after the equal sign, you will be given tips on what might be the formula that you're supposed to use. So there, and then after the name of the function, we put open parenthesis. You can type in the cell name or you can just simply click and drag. So as you can see here, it's now in a range format, which is B2 colon D2, which means the C2, though it's not seen, it is included. Okay, and then I am going to enter the close parenthesis and hit enter. observe what will happen. So as you can see here, I have a suggestion. So the suggestion is to autofill, because the Google Sheets uh, found out that you have um, data also after this particular row, and this might have the same formula that you needed. Okay, so the autofill is just basically putting the same formula in relation to the, or in respect to the row. Okay, so it will be providing relative formulas. So I am going to click the check box here, or the check mark, so that it will autofill. Okay, so as you can see now, the answers are already there. Okay, that's how we do the autofill. But let's say, for example, for some reasons you were unable to see that, or you press the X button earlier. If that's the case, you can manually autofill the formula. Uh, as you can see, let me just increase the size. There is a small square at the bottom right of the cell. So when you select that, you will be able to see that small square. So you put your mouse over that and you will see this plus icon, or the handle will change to this plus icon. You have to click, and then while holding your mouse, you drag it down until the last row, and then it will automatically autofill the formulas. And when you see the cell, the formula is there with respect to the row it is in, okay, or it is located. So there you have successfully entered the function, and the Google Sheets made it easier for us because we have the so-called autofill. Now, what about the average? For the average, I am going to show you the second method of entering function, which is to make use of the insert tab. Okay, so there's no need for you to put equal sign, because if you're going to use the insert tab, it will automatically put the function correct syntax. So just make sure you select the cell, and then after that, go to the insert tab, and let's find the function. And at the top, you will see they're the most commonly used functions, especially for teachers. You also have other options for the functions. Here we have different categories, but for our demonstration today, let's just make use of these five. Okay. So for average, let's just select average, and then this function name will appear automatically. What we just have to do is supply the data. We can type in the data, or you can just simply click while holding your mouse, drag it to the last cell. So there, at this point, we can see that it's from B2 to D2, which means C2 will be included. I am going to hit enter on my keyboard. And as you can see, I now have a suggestion coming from Google Sheets. I'll just have to accept the suggestion, and then automatically the result will appear in the succeeding rows. Okay. Now, I'm sure you are guessing already what will be the correct function for min and max, and also for count. So for min, um, we have to go back to the insert. Actually, there's a third way. Aside from typing it manually, if you know the function name, aside from going to the insert tab, you can also see another or you can see a symbol, the sigma symbol in the toolbar, which is the representation of functions. So you just simply click that, and then there you will be able to see again the different functions. So let's make use of this one. I'll select min, and again, min will look for the minimum number or the lowest number in the range. So click the min, and then there you will be able to see the function, and simply highlight the cells that will be included and accept the suggestion. For the max, uh, same instruction, go to the function symbol, and then type or look for the max function. And then for the count, same instruction, go to the function symbol and select the count, and do the same steps. So there, that's how we put functions. Let me just complete this so we can move on to the next part of our list of skills. So for maximum, highlight and then drag and then enter, accept the suggestion. For the count, let's also do that. Highlight and then enter. It doesn't give any suggestion. So what we can do is we can manually put the, or we can manually autofill or manually fill the formula or function to the succeeding slides. So click and drag that to the last row. So there, we were able to complete the table. Okay. Let me just zoom out this so we can see the whole picture there of the spreadsheet that we just created. Just continue that. Okay, so we were able to complete the table for, let's say, your grade sheet for a particular subject. Okay. Now we'll proceed to the next part, which is sorting a range of data. So let's say you have a data which is not arranged based on your liking. So we can also make use of the sort function in Google Sheets to make that happen. So how do we do that? Let's say, for example, let's go back to this file. This is already sorted alphabetically in ascending order. So as you can see, we have A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, and then so on, okay, which are alphabetically arranged. Now, let's say we don't want it that way. We want it like in descending order. So it will start from Z going to letter A. So how do we do that in Google Sheets? First things first, we have to highlight the cells that will be affected. So let's say, for example, these are the cells that I would like to change based on the sorting that will happen. So you can highlight that first. And then you go to the, let's see if it's in the data tab. There, if, let's say, for example, you are not sure where you can find the function, you just simply look at the different tabs here and find it there. Okay. Or you can also make use of the shortcuts in the toolbar. Okay, so for now, let's make use of the data tab. And then you have here an option to sort it from Z to A. Okay. Uh, it's just that there is a possible error in terms of the order of the selected cell. So I am going to show it to you right now. So let's say I select this, and no, I would like you to notice that even the header, which has the following uh, labels or titles, you have name, quiz 1, quiz 2, and quiz 3 were also sorted. Okay. So we don't want that to happen because let's say we just want to have the header at the top and the rest of the data should be sorted. So how are we going to do that? I will control Z first, okay, and then um, I will go back to the data tab, and as you can see here, we have sort range. Okay, I will select that, and then I will I will select the checkbox here to indicate that there is a header row, meaning to say that will not be included in the sorting if checked or if selected. So I'll click that, and then sort by. Beside that, you have a drop down, and then let's say I would like to sort it uh, using the name column. And then based on my example earlier, I would like to use the Z to A or the descending order. So select, and then let's click the sort button. You can also explore another sort column later during your practice. Okay, I'll click the sort button, and as you can see, the name, quiz 1, quiz 2, quiz 3, which are your headers, are retained, and then the only things that were rearranged in descending order are the ones with the names of the students and also the scores. So the scores are referring to the name of the student. So again, that's how we are sorting the range of cells in Google Sheets. Okay, before I continue, I'll go back to our chat box first. Okay, there. So I can see that there are uh, There are participants coming from different parts of the Philippines. Thank you very much for attending today. There's a question here. Can we repeat the control before the sort? So sure. Again, let's go back to the demo file here. I'll press Control Z, and then to sort, we just have to highlight the cells that will be included. So let's say, for example, all of these are included in our sorting. Okay. And then you go to the data tab and then select, sorry, data tab and then select sort range. Okay. We are going to choose sort range because there's a header in our data. Okay. For the header to not be included in the sorting, so let's make use of the sort range. Because here you will find data has header row option, which when you click the data row, the header row will not be included in the sorting. So this will be sorted by name, and that is from Z to A or descending order, and I'll click the sort button. And as you can see, everything was sorted based on the name of the students. I hope that answers the question of our participant. Okay, thank you very much. We also have participants coming from Pangasinan. Okay, so let's now move on to the next. I like how we are doing the training today. Uh, that's what I would like you to do. If you have questions, just simply type in that in our chat box. Anyway, I will be able to see that while I am discussing. Okay. Okay, so let's proceed to the next, which is formatting. We can also make use of the knowledge that we got in Google Docs about formatting and also in Google Slides, because the Google Sheets, even it's more on computation, you will also be able to make some changes in its appearance. So what I mean is formatting the cells, formatting the table that you have. Let's demo that. I'm going to return to our file, and then let's say right now I already selected this group of cells, and then let's say I would like to have border. Okay, I will go to the toolbar and look for the borders symbol or the borders icon, and then I can choose whichever I want there. So for me, I'll choose the all borders so that every cell will have a border. So there, as you can see, it's now, um, or it now has borders. Let's say, for example, the header, I would like to change its color, the fill color. I'll go to the toolbar, and then here I will be able to see the fill color, which is similar to Google Docs and Google Slides. So click, and then let's say I want it to have this color. And then for the text, let's say I would like to change it to color yellow, for example, or I think black is better. So, and then let's also change or let's embolden the words. And then you can also put it into center. So as you can see, we're able to make some changes there. Another thing that I would like to share is the so-called conditional formatting. So conditional formatting is um, giving instructions or rules to Google Sheets so that when it sees the rule, it will perform the action required from it. Okay, so to understand better, I would like you to look at my screen, and I'm going to demonstrate how we create conditional formatting. So let's say the objective or the goal is to highlight with color green those grades lower than 75. Okay, again, highlight the cells with grades lower than 75, and it should be color green. Okay, so to do that, I will just simply highlight the cells that will be part of the criteria. And then I will go to Format tab. You will be able to see their conditional formatting. Okay. So I'll click conditional formatting. Again, we went to format and then selected conditional formatting. And then on the right side, you will be able to see this conditional format rules sidebar. And then you will see there the range which you have selected earlier. Therefore, if the selection earlier was incorrect, you can also make modification here in the sidebar. So since it's correct, I will leave it as is. And then I have here different rules. So I'll click the drop down. Remember, the objective is for me to highlight with green color, the cells with less than 75. So let's find the correct rule. So you have is empty, is not empty, which are not the one we are looking for. It's not about date. Eh, eh, it's actually about the this rule, which is less than. Okay, so we are going to select this so that we will be able to find out what are the numbers less than 75. So less than, and then this box is where you're going to put the number. So let's say 75. And then right now you see that it's already highlighted, okay, or it has colors already. Okay, it is automatically filled with color green. Okay, you can also change the intensity of the green color. Maybe this one is what you prefer. Okay, so let me select that. So as you can see, it automatically changed. So real time, we can see the change. If you would like to change the text color, you can also do that. I can change it to color, let's say white. Yeah. And then click the done button. Now we already have the rule. If you would like to make another rule, you just have to click add another rule here. But for now, I'll close that. And then let's say, for example, Ted doesn't really have 79 in his quiz number one, which I mean, it really has this score, let's say 73. When we hit enter, we will notice that it will become a cell with color green fill. The reason behind is the Google Sheets identified that it qualifies to the criterion that we specified in the conditional formatting earlier. Okay. Again, how do we go to the formatting or to the conditional formatting sidebar? We go, or of course, we have to highlight the cells that will be affected. We go to the format tab, and then there you will see the conditional formatting. And then there, you will be able to specify the rules that you would like to that you would like the Google Sheets to do for you. Next, let's proceed to the next part, which is creating the chart. So how do we create a chart in Google Sheets? Let's say, for example, this is the same data that we would like to create the chart. We just have to highlight all of the cells that will be included in the chart, and then go to the Insert tab, select Chart, and it will automatically give you a chart based on what Google Sheets think is the correct one. Okay, so it's very intuitive. You can also modify the chart. Maybe this is not the one you're looking for. On the right side, you will see the chart editor. And then when you click this drop down, you will have different types of chart. Okay. Let's say the correct chart should be the bar chart. So you can just click that and automatically the chart changed. Okay. Let's say, for example, let's bring it back to the original, which is the column chart. Okay. Let's say, for example, you accidentally close this. So how are we going to view the sidebar again for us to format the chart? So you have to select the chart, and then on the right side, on the upper right side, you see this more option symbol. Click that and then select edit chart. From there, you will be able to see again the chart editor sidebar. Okay. Again, you can change the type of chart by going to the chart type. Let's say, for example, you would like to change the name of the or the title of the chart. You can double click it here, or you can go to the customize tab. So for easier demonstration, I'll just double click that, and then let's say this is about scores of uh, my students. So let's say, for example, that's the title. And then you can also make changes to the legend, to the um, to the to which data will appear in the x-axis or in the y-axis by going to the Customize tab. Okay. So for example, we are good with this. Now we are going to put this, let's say, in a different sheet because right now it's on the same sheet of my table. So how do we move this to another sheet? We go back to the three dot symbol or more options, and there you will see the um, option which is move to own sheet. So when you click that, this is expected to appear in different sheet. So I'll click that, and then right now, as we can see, it is moved to another sheet. Going back to sheet number one, um, the chart there is gone already. So it was moved to another sheet, which is now called as chart 3. So there. This is now the chart that we just created. So that's how we create chart in Google Sheets. Again, you highlight first the data, the cells that will be included in the chart. You go to the Insert tab, and then there you will see the chart option. Okay, so that actually ends the discussion for that chart. But I have here a link which I would like you to click. So you have the file already. Again, the link to the file that I'm using right now can be seen on the screen. Um, you click that link, and when you click that, you will be directed to a video recording uh, for you to learn the other types of charts. So I already created that. I hope you're going to watch that to learn more about adding or inserting charts in Google Sheets. The last skill that we have to know in Google Sheets is how to share. Okay, so I think we are not going to have difficulty on sharing um, Google Sheets file because you already know how to share on Google Docs and Google Slides. But just to make sure that everyone in the same boat, we can demonstrate that again. We can go to the share button here, and then this familiar window will appear. This is where you can put the specific email address, and then at the bottom, that is where you can get the link. So for example, I'll click the change link there. Since I am using the school account, um, I will be able to see the domain name here. So if I just want my students to view the file, then I can select the second option, which is our school domain. But if I would like all the people with the link, even if they are outside the domain, then we can select anyone with the link. And then after that, you copy the link and then click the done button. If you are required to send it using Gmail, then do so. Okay. Okay, so I think we were able to cover all the things needed for the skills required in GEC Level 1 for Google Sheets. So we are now ready for the challenge. So I would like you to uh, click this link. So once you click that, you will be asked to create a copy of the sheets of the demo file that we are going to use for the challenge. And then here's the instruction. You have to sort column toys alphabetically from A to Z. You have to calculate the total of sales for every quarter, calculate the average of sales for every toy, and then create conditional formatting to emphasize sales greater than 75. So let's say, for example, you weren't able to get my instruction earlier how to create conditional formatting. This video is recorded. You can just go back to it and then create a chart and move it to its own sheet. Same instruction on how you're going to submit your file to me. You just take a screenshot and send the evidences to my email address. For the subject line, I have to modify this. This is not calendar. This is sheets. Okay, so I'll just make some changes to the file later. Are we clear with the challenge? So let me go back to our chat box to see if you have comments. Okay. Okay, I am not seeing any questions right now, so I suppose everyone can follow about the Google Sheet skills. Okay. Thank you very much. We will now proceed to our next application, which is about forms. Okay. Um, I understand that last semester or last school year, we already started, or I mean, you already started the online class. We already started also the online class at our school last school year. And uh, forms is one of the tools that we always use in order to get data from our students. Okay, be it just a survey form or a form for assessment, whether formative or summative assessment. Okay, so I'm sure you already have an idea. The majority of the participants will have or has, sorry, the majority of the participants have idea about forms. I think today what I'm going to do is give you the specific skill set that you need to have in order to answer the questions in the Google certification. So these are the following. We have launch, create, share, and we have to know what we mean by responses. How do we enable accepting responses and how do we disable it? So let's continue. Let's begin with how we launch Google Forms. So again, we can use the Google Apps launcher and then find the forms, or you can also go to forms.new or forms.google.com. So here are the screenshots for your reference. Okay, so I'll go there for me to also explain the content of a typical form. Okay, so this is now the page where we can find the blank button. So click that, and this one will appear. At the top, that is where you're going to put your title. So let's say, for example, this is survey form. When you click this, it will automatically fill the name of the title. You can add description there too. And then at the bottom, there's a question that was already added. This is where you're going to put your question. So this is the part where you type in your question. You can also add picture. This is where we can specify what type of question is this. And then on the uh, or at the bottom of this, you will find that the fields where you can put the options. Then you also have here duplicate, delete, you can make it required, and you also have other options here. Okay? And then on the right side, you will be able to see other things that you can do, like adding another question, importing questions from another file, adding title and description, adding an image, adding a video, and then adding a section. So let's say we would like to ask the name of the user of this form. So let's say what's your name? Observe that it automatically changed to short answer. So the Google Forms is intuitive. It detects what is the what is the type of question you really want. Okay, but of course you can still change that there. Okay, so let's say we are done with this and we would like to add another question. So to do that, we can just simply click the plus icon here that will be adding another question. So let's say here, uh, what's your age? Okay, when you also click this, automatically it gives us short answer. But you can also change it to, let's say, multiple choice. Let's say we want to add options for the range of the age. So let's say 9 or 0 to 10, and then click add option 11 to 20, and then let's say 21 to 30, and then you have another option there in which it states add other. So when you click that, the user, if his age doesn't fall in the options, then he can just simply type in the age. Okay, so those are some examples of questions that we can put in Google Forms. At this point, I would like to add section. Okay, so when you click this symbol, it will give you another section. We can think of this as another page in your forms because it's possible that your forms will have multiple pages. So when you are doing that here in the edit mode, you have section one and you have another section. So let's say we are already in section number two, and let's say the title of this is continuation. Okay. uh, survey form. And then we can add more questions. So I'll click the plus icon here. And then let's say here we would like to know, uh, let's say, where are you from? Okay. And then it will become short answer. If we like it to become a required question, then we select that. Let's add another question. We simply click this plus icon. And then let's say here, what do you want us to know? Okay. And then when we click this, let's say we have to choose paragraph. And then this, let's say this is not required. Okay. That's an optional question. There. So we were able to successfully create a survey form. Now let's proceed to the settings. On the right side, upper right side, you will see this cog or setting symbol. It looks like a gear symbol. You click that, and then you will be able to see the settings of your form. If you like to collect emails, you select that. If you would like to limit to one response, you also select this one. You can also edit, or you can also make your user edit their submitted form and then see the summary charts and text responses. So let's say I would like to check the limit to one response, and I would also like to collect emails. Okay. And then there's additional option here in which when we click the checkbox for response receipts, we will be able to see these additional options. Let's say I would like to have the responses or a copy of the response sent to the user. So I'll click the always there. And then presentation, we can shuffle question order. So this is very um, useful. Let's say you are creating an assessment for the copy of the form to be somewhat different to the copies of other students, you can rearrange the question or you can shuffle the question order. You can also show progress bar so that the user will be able to see how or how many more pages he has to answer. So click the show progress bar. You can also customize the confirmation message. So let's say, thank you for answering this form. And then this is not a quiz, so we are not going to make it a quiz. But just in case you are to create a quiz, then you have to specify here that it's a quiz so that you will be able to put correct answers. Okay. I'll click the save button and then there you go. We were able to specify the settings. Now, if you would like to see first how it appears, so before we send it to our students or to our participants, for example, we click this eye symbol, which is for preview. So click, and then you will see that this is how it will appear to users or to the people who will answer the survey form. So the email address, as you can see here, is going to be collected. Let's say, let's also put in the email address for verification. And then, or if the user has another email address that he would like to supply, so he can put it there. And then let's say the age is other. Let's say I'm already 35. My name is Repatacodo Victor Nilo. And then this is the progress bar. Right now, I am page one of two. And these are the questions in our section one earlier in the edit mode. So the very reason why I said we can think of section as page, because in reality, when the user sees the form, it is actually page. Okay, I'll click the next button. And then here, you have the optional question, which is what do you want us to know? So let's say I would like to know more about the course. And then, let's say, can you send details? And then, where are you from? Let's say I'll type in Boni, Mandaluyong. And then, once I'm done, I'll click the submit button. And as the statement appears here, the expectation is the user that fills out this, who fills out this form will be receiving the copy of the form. So I'll click submit and then the customized message appears here. So thank you for answering this form. So that's how simple we create Google Forms. or survey form in Google Forms. Okay, moving on to the next part. We were able to demonstrate earlier what are the different questions, what can be added aside from those questions. I understand that you would like to know further about the different types of questions here. Maybe you are interested to know about linear scale because you would like to apply that in your training also possibly. Okay, or you would like to have multiple choice grid because you would like your students to have a multiple choice grid in their assessment. So to know more about them, I provided a recording also, so you click this link for the demo of all of the things that you see here, all the question types. Okay, so I'm going to leave that to you as part of your activity. So just simply click that for you to be able to learn all the questions. Next, let's proceed to the other symbols that you saw earlier at the top of the screen. We were able to use the preview and then the setting symbol. If you would like to make some changes in the appearance, you can actually use this customized theme. So we can change that. We can specify a header. So let me see if I will be able to put a header. So I'll click the choose image here and then let me upload and then browse my computer. I think I prepared for this training uh, this one. Okay, I'll click that. I'll press the open button and then I'll click the done button, and the expectation is the image will appear at the top. So there, we were able to customize it. So you can also make your own header so that it will show your own personality, okay? Or it will be based on the subject matter that will be in your form. Okay, so there. Now we are done looking at the customization also. I think we have to also go to the send button. Maybe there are other participants here who don't know it yet. So here, when you click the send button, you will be able to uh, add collaborators. You can also send it to specific email addresses. Let's say I would like to um, add a collaborator. Okay, I'll click the link here, and let's say this particular user is going to be given an editor access. So that's the only option for sharing file in Google Forms. You make the other user as editor. Okay. Next, you can notify and then click the send button. So the expectation is the particular user will be able to have an editor access to this particular file. Now, how are we going to send the form that will be answered, let's say by your students? So we go back to the send button, and then here you see the get link symbol. So you click that, and then you can just simply copy that link. You can also shorten the link, click the copy button, and then if you are required to use your Gmail, uh, uh, paste the link to your Gmail and send it to the email addresses that should receive the form. Or let's say you are using uh, a chat room, so you can also distribute the forms using the link you copied from the send button. Okay, now let's go back to the file. That's how we share and that's how we distribute the form to the users. Okay, so we use the add collaborators to give someone an editor access to the forms, and we make use of the get link option there in the send button if we would like to get the link that will be distributed to people who should fill out the form. So there. Okay, so that was I discussed earlier. And the last part for Google Forms is to know how to enable accepting responses and disable accepting responses. So how do we do that? Remember earlier, we already have one response because I answered the form in the preview mode. So I'll go to the responses, and then On the right side, you will see this like a toggle or switch button. It is currently accepting responses, but let's say I need my students to just fill this out up until 11:59 p.m. Uh, tonight. Okay, so at 11:59, I can actually disable this so that it will not accept responses anymore. Okay, so there is a message here that we can customize. And then at the upper right side, you see here create spreadsheet. So you can transfer all the data you have in your Google Forms to a Google Sheet. Okay, you click that, and you will be asked if you would like to create a new spreadsheet, or if you have already an existing spreadsheet which you would like to update. So since this is new, so the expected is to create a new spreadsheet. So I'll click create, and let's just wait for a moment for it to be created by Google. So right now, I now have the Google Sheets, which contains the different data entered by the user earlier. So if there are 10 or more responses, they are expected to appear here on Google Sheets. Going back to our file, those are the skills needed for Google Forms. If you have questions, don't hesitate to put that in the chat box. So let me just read some of the questions here. Okay, there is a very good question here coming from a participant. Um, she has actually two questions. I think I can also display the question in the StreamYard. Let me check if I can do that. There. So I have comments. This one. I hope everyone can see the question. The question is, can we format our form wherein it becomes a mixture of survey form and then quiz sections? What I am thinking is, um, for the survey form, for the survey part, you can just um, you can just make that as required. However, it doesn't have scores. Okay, because it's possible. Okay, it doesn't have score, but it's required. Or you can also make that as optional, meaning to say the only total scores that will be computed by Google Forms are those questions uh, with with um, with assigned score. Okay, so that's what I'm thinking. That's a solution that we can have there. Okay? I hope I was able to answer that question. Uh-huh. Why not I don't demonstrate that? Okay, so let me demonstrate that. I am also curious if what will happen. So let's say, for example, this one. Right now, it is a survey form. And let's say we would like to add uh, a portion here in which it will serve as a quiz. Okay, so let's say we have third column, okay, or third section. So we add section, and then here let's type in quiz. Okay, and then let's add a question. So let's say the question is, uh, how many months in a year? And then you have options which are 12, 13, 6, and then let's say 24. Okay? And then here, uh, right now, this is not a quiz yet. So this is still a survey form. So what we can do is we can change it uh, in the settings. Okay, so click, and then let's select the quizzes, and then let's make this a quiz. Okay? And then let's save it. And then if you notice, we now have here additional option, which is to provide answer key. So I will select the correct answer, which is 12, and then the corresponding point is 1, and then click the done button. And then I can make it required. I can also shuffle the option order there. So right now we have a combination of survey form and then the quiz. Okay, there. So when we look at the preview, which I will not be able to do so because I already responded here. Let me just delete my response. Hold on. Let me just remove that. Okay, so I can properly demonstrate this. Okay, so I'll click the preview again, and then I will supply my email address, and then that's my age, 35. My name is Victor Nilo Repatacol. And then I'll click the next button. So you see, these are not questions intended for quiz. So these are just basically the questions for the survey part. What do you want us to know? Let's say none. And then where are you from? Mandaluyong. And then when you click the next button, this is the start of the quiz. So how many months in a year? Let's say I will get the correct answer, which is 12, and then click the submit button. The view score appears here. So when you click that, you now see that the score is 1 over 1. So if you have 10 items, then it will appear there as 10 over 10, or the number of scores got obtained by the student in that quiz. Okay, so this is what I can think as a solution to the question of our participant. Okay. Okay, so if that answers the question, I hope you're also going to write a comment. Okay, okay, we will now proceed to the next part of the slide, which is the challenge. So I would like you to create a new Google Forms and title it Knowledge Check. Move it to your folder My School Files in Drive. So if you don't have folder name yet in your Google Drive, I would like you to do so first, and that is where you have to put the Knowledge Check Google Forms. Create three questions, and the types of questions are multiple choice, check boxes, and short answer. And I would like you to mark all questions required. Assign correct answers and points. And then the third one is to create a new section with one question and mark it as optional. So it's up to you what will be the questions you're going to ask. It could be questions regarding your subject. To show your evidences, I would like you to take a screenshot and then send that to my email address. The subject line is forms. Okay. So let's have a 1 minute break. Okay. Then I will also read some of your comment. I will also read your comments, and maybe there are questions there too. Okay, so I hope you were able to um, drink water in the brain break that we had. And there's another question here that we weren't able to answer. Let me display that on the screen. I think she is referring to the header name of the Google Sheets. Um, Before that, she asked actually, what is the Control Z for? Control Z is for undo. So you can press Control Z to bring back the previous state, okay, of your spreadsheet. And then the header name disappeared or was deleted when you press that. You have to make sure that when you press the Control Z, you are pressing the Control on your keyboard. While holding it, you press the Z, uh, the Z key. So Control Z. Okay. So I would like you to try that again later in your practice, okay? Or in the challenges that were given to you. Okay, so thank you very much for all your questions, and I see here that we have other participants attending the training today. Let's now move on to the next part of our slide, okay, of this file, which is the classroom. Okay, so classroom enables teachers to create an online classroom area. For this particular application, these are the skills that you have to know in order to get the tasks that will be given to you during the examination. Or if you are not planning to take the exam, that's fine. These are the skills that will really help you in properly creating the classes for your students. So the first one is how to launch Google Classroom. The second one is how to create Google Classroom. And the third is how do we post announcements and then materials and classwork in Google Classroom. So let me begin in launching it. So here's the instruction. We can go to the apps launcher and then select Google Classroom. If you are unable to see that in the Google Apps launcher, you can just simply type in the Omnibox classroom.google.com. So let me try that. I'll close first the different tabs here, and then um, I will type in classroom.google.com. Okay, and then hit enter. So this is my personal account, which is using Google Classroom. Let me change this to my school account or to the school account that I'm using. Okay, so this is Google Classroom's homepage. In order for us to create Google Classroom, at the right side, you will see this plus icon. So when you click that, you will be able to see join class or create class. Um, by the way, before we continue, in your examination, you will be given credential. And since it's a credential in which you have to demonstrate the skills needed for GEC level 1, you might be required to select to start from the very beginning of setting up Google Classroom. So how do we set up Google Classroom? When you enter classroom.google.com, the first thing that you will see there is uh, um, to specify, for you to specify if you are a teacher or a student. So make sure that you specify the correct option based on the task that will be given to you during the exam. If the task is asking you to put student, then you have to make sure you are a student. But if you are required to act as a teacher, then you have to select the correct option, which is teacher, and that is a very crucial part in the examination, because if you are or if you fail selecting the correct option there, either a student or a teacher, then there might be features that will not be available to you when you create the succeeding tasks. Okay, so if you are a teacher in the exam, you have to select the teacher. So let's say, for example, we are done um, we are done with the specification of or with you selecting the teacher, okay, in the setup of Google Classroom. So the next thing that you're going to do is create a class. Okay, so how do we create a class? On the right side, you will see here join class and create class. um, if you are required to create a class, then obviously you have to select this one. So create a class, and this pop-up will appear. Class name, let's say computer. And then you can fill out the remaining fields there, and then select the create button. So let's just wait for a moment for it to be created. Okay, so right now I have successfully created the Google Classroom. So here I have the stream page, classwork page, people page, and then the grades page. So if you are going to post announcement to your students, you will be able to do that on the stream page. So here there is a text field. So let's say I'm going to type in, please join our synchronous meeting, okay, today. And then the date is 22 August 2020. And then you can also make some formatting. So let's say I'll embolden that word. And this one, let's say I am going to italicize that. There. So you have an option to format also your post. And then once you are done, you can also add attachment. And if you don't have any attachments to add, then you just simply click the post button here. So I'll click post, and then the expectation is it will appear on your stream page. So when it appears here, it will also appear on the Google Classroom that your students are seeing. And they will also receive an email notification that you have posted something on your Google Classroom. You can also generate Meet link through the banner. So I'll click that and then click the generate Meet link and then save it so that the students would just simply click this if they would like to join the synchronous meeting. On the next tab, you will be able to see the different classwork that you can give to your students, like assignment and quiz assignment. Now, what's the difference between assignment and quiz assignment? Assignment, this is like you would like your students to attach documents on the assignment. The quiz assignment is there you will be given Google Forms, because quiz assignment is as if you are giving an assessment to the student in the form of quiz. So Google Forms is automatically added to the quiz assignment. Next, you have question. If you would like to just ask random questions to your students, but still really related to the class or to the subject, so this can be used for formative assessment. And then, if you have material to share to your students, so you have to select material, and then you can also reuse post. And then, topic is used to group the different units in your class. So I think I can share with you an example of my existing Google Classroom. So let me just open this. I will go to the classwork page. Okay. So as you can see, I was able to create topics. So the first topic is course overview. And then the second topic is about living in the IT era overview. So I have materials. I have question, because this is the question. This is another question. This is a assignment. This is question, and this is material. So later, when you practice creating your Google Classroom, I would like you to explore the different things that you can create under the classwork page. And they also have different icons. Okay. So there. In my demonstration, I am going to add a material. So I'll click material, and then here I will be able to put title. Let's say the title is um, chapter 1, living in the IT era. So that is my title. I can put description, and I can also put here different attachments. Let's say I would like to attach from my Google Drive. Okay. Okay. And then I will select file here. Let's say this one. And then I'll click insert button. Now, as you can see, it's already inserted there. So suppose this is the material that you would like to share for the living in the IT era. We don't have topic yet, but if you would like to create topic, you can also create it here. Let's say this is unit 1. Okay. And then when we click the post button here, the expectation is it will be posted in our classwork page. So there you have unit 1, and you have this chapter 1 material. So if you would like to create an assessment, you can just simply click either question or assignment or quiz assignment. And then let's say assignment. This is, let's say, what is internet? What is the internet? So let's say that's the question that I would like them to answer. Provide a short description and image. So after that, I can set the due date. So let's say the due date for this is on August 25. The time is 11:59 p.m. And the topic, let's say, I already created unit 1 earlier, so I just have to simply select that. and that is for 100 points. If you have rubrics, you can also add here your rubric. And then once you're done, you click the assign button. And as you notice, it's under unit number 1. So if you have other units, you can also assign it to other units. You can also drag and drop so that it will be in the order of your liking. Okay, so that's how we use the classwork page in our Google Classroom. The next tab is for people. So people is used for adding teachers and adding students. So let's say in your examination, you are given with email address in which you have to add them as your students. So you just simply click the invite students icon on the right side of the students label. And here you type in the email address. So let's say the email address is this one. And then you click the invite button. So I am unable to invite because I'm using my school account and I am inviting someone outside the school. So I am not going to use that email. Let me find, uh, hold on. Let me just demonstrate that in my personal account. Okay? Because I don't want to also share the email address of my workmates. So hold on. Let me open the Google Classroom in under account. So right now I am on my personal account. So let's say this one, Google Classroom Training. Under the People tab, this is where you're going to put the email addresses of the students that will be added to your Google Classroom. So I'll click the plus or the add or invite students here, and then I'll type in the email address. And then let's say this is the email address of your student. Click the invite, and your student will be receiving an email notification that he is invited to join this Google Classroom. So when he pressed the join, um, you will be able to see here um, uh, the name of the student. It's not grayed out anymore because he is already officially enrolled in your Google Classroom. If you also have other teachers to add in the Google Classroom, you can also do that here. You just simply click this icon and then same procedure, type in the email address and click the invite button. So that's how we add participants in our Google Classroom. That's how we post on the classwork page, like what we did earlier. And that's how we post announcements on the stream page. So let me go back to my presentation and let's see if we missed anything. Okay, so I think we were able to cover all the basic skills needed for our Google Classroom part in the examination. But I just want to inform you also that the examination, if you plan to get one, I mean, if you are planning to be certified, it's not by tools. What I mean is you are going to be given a task in which that particular task can be solved using multiple Google applications. For example, um, you are asked to create a document and then you get the link from that document and then send it to your to a Gmail. I mean to an email or send it through Gmail. So in that case, you already have two applications in one task. So there. So that's how it will be formulated in your examination. So for the challenge in our Google Classroom, you have to create a new class titled My Classroom, and you have to add your colleagues to your classroom. One as a co-teacher and two as students. So you can make use of your personal Google account or your school account in creating this challenge. Post a welcome message on the stream page, and then add an assignment titled Reflection Paper, add a due date for 1 week from now. Okay. Once you are done, you take a screenshot of your output and send it to my email address. The subject line is classroom. Okay. So there, those are the things that we need to cover in Google Classroom. The next things that we are going to discuss or applications are sites, groups, and YouTube. Okay. I will go back to the StreamYard first and see if there are questions that were raised earlier while we are preparing for the next topics to discuss this afternoon. Okay, so I'm currently reading some of your questions, and if, let's say, for example, I am unable to answer all of them today, I will make sure to get back to you and answer that through the comments of this video. And if you have submitted your email address, I can also share the answer by sending the email to you. So let me just pick one uh, while we are preparing for our next topics. Okay. Okay, for this question, I think I will get in touch with with this participant so that I will be able to ask few more questions in order um, to better answer it. Okay. So the question is basically um, what I am thinking right now, if I understand it correctly, is you would like to change your question to your mother tongue. Let's say, for example, I am thinking that Koyunon is the mother tongue that you are referring to. Um, what I am thinking is you can um, explicitly and explicitly enter that as the the question on the Google form. So meaning to say, you're going to type in the question in mother tongue already. Um, but let's say what you would like to do is you're going to have it in English first, and that will be converted to your mother tongue. Okay, so I think for that I have to search. I have also to research if there is a method or a function for that in Google Forms. Because from what I know, we have Filipino, we have English, the languages that are common. So uh, you can translate that, but when it comes to mother tongue, let me see, okay? Let me check if I will be able to find a better answer to you. But right now, I am thinking that we can translate it to different languages. Okay, yeah. Uh, and with regards to demonstration of that, maybe we can have a separate discussion about that also. But for sure, that will not be part of the Google certification for level one. Okay, so there. Next, I have here another question. So this is interesting. I want my respondents to know immediately the results of the first quiz section before they move to the next question or to the next section. Because let's say quiz two is or builds from quiz one. Mhm. What I can actually suggest as a solution here is um, you create the question, and let's say if the answer is incorrect, then they will not be able to proceed to the next question or to the next section. Okay, there. That's what I think as a solution to this one. How do we do that? I actually created also a video recording about how we can do conditional branching. Let me check if I can find the link right now, and then I will just put that here in the chat box so that you can watch that later also, and then use that as a solution to this problem. Okay, so that's what I am thinking right now to make use of conditional for a conditional branching. Okay, so give me a minute. Let me just look for that video. I can remember I have that previously. I am currently in my YouTube channel. Let me just check that here. Okay, so I still have to find for it. I think for us not to waste time, I will just get back to the person who commented that, and I will also put the answer in the chat box, okay, or in the comment section, so that you will be able to see that even those who are watching this video, uh, or those who are going to watch this video later. Okay, so there. But just to answer the question, we can make use of conditional formatting. They will not be able to proceed to the next section if their answer is incorrect. Or you can refer them to go to another question so that they will be able to get the correct answer first, um, before they proceed to the next section. Okay. So we'll now move on to the next part. I hope we will really be able to finish this session in the time that we have allotted. Okay, so we'll proceed to the Google Apps training for GEC Level 1. Um, and this time we are going to talk about the sites, groups, and YouTube. So let's begin with the sites or continue with the sites. When we say Google Sites, this is basically the tool we use for creating and publishing websites. We already know what is Google Classroom. Let's say, for example, you would like to be more flexible on what you would like to share with your students on how it appears on the screen. So if you don't like the one size fits all setup, like what we see in Google Classroom, you can make use of Google Sites. Here, you will be able to create your own website. So here are the things that we have to know. They are how to launch, what are the different parts, how to create a page and a subpage, how to share your website, and then how to publish. So let's begin with launching. Or by the way, I forgot to share with you the name of the file that we are going to use for this part. So let me just go back here in our StreamYard, and then um, I am going to show the second file for today. And that is bit.ly/GEC part 4 for you to be able to get a copy of this. So I will provide examples of different outputs of the applications that we are going to discuss uh, in this file. Okay, so we have sites, groups, and the other one is YouTube. So for sites, I have here an example. This is actually a website that I created recently for our demonstration. So I will click that, and as you can see here, this is a website called Victor Nilo. So I have the resources. So I also have training. I have free templates. Uh, there I have tech tips. So what we are viewing right now are pages, okay? And then I have contacts page. So you can also create this website because the tools that we need in order for this to happen are made easier to use by Google Sites. By the way, I will go back to the resources. Here you will be able to see school and then training. These two are what we call as sub pages. Okay? So this is the resources primary page. And then when you click the school, you will be directed to the school's school sub page. Okay? So sub page, it is indicated uh, through this. It's like this. When you click the inverted caret or drop down arrow, you will be able to see the different sub pages. So let's go ahead and create a website. Let's go back to the file. So I'm using this one. So after you have viewed the sample website, let's go back here on my screen, and I'm going to share with you how to launch it. So to launch the Google Sites application, you can also go to the Google Apps Launcher and find the application icon. So it's this one. If it's not there, what you can do is go to sites.new or site.new, website.new, or sites.google.com. There. So I have here some examples or screenshots of the ways on how to go there. So I am going to close first the other tabs, and then I will open another tab and I'll enter sites.google.com. And then it's the familiar screen, but this time it is the sites screen. I will click the plus icon so that it will create a blank website. I understand that this might be new to the majority of the participants. This is, I think, one of the tools that we don't normally use, but this will be very helpful because we can create our own website that our students can go to in case you would like to share materials with them, and if you would like it to be more, uh, um, I mean, if you would like it to be presented in a way that you would like it to be shown on the screen. Okay. So first things first, we have to put a file name. So let's say the file name is this is GEC Level 1 demo. And then you can also change the title. So let's say the title of this particular page, which is placed on the banner, is let's say welcome. And then at the bottom of the banner, this is the place where where you're going to put the objects. So what are the different objects that you can put? You have text box, images, embed if you have an HTML code. So this is for advanced users. And then you have Google Drive. So the Google Drive, when you click this, you will be able to see options of the things that you can put from your Google Drive. If you don't want to set it up manually, you also have different layouts that you can use. So I have here one picture and text box layout, two pictures and two text box layout, and others. Here are other objects that we can also place in our page. So let's say, for example, I will use text box. And here, as you notice, when I click text box, this automatically appeared. So let's say, um, hi, I'm Victor. Okay, so we can continue typing the details there if you have other information. And then you can put image. So let's say here I would like to put or to upload an image, and let's say this one. There. So the image is already uploaded. If you would like to have or to move this, let's say beside the text, let's see if we will be able to do that. So if you notice, I am also able to drag and drop here. Okay. So right now, as we can see, we have the picture and then the text side by side. We can also change the size. So you can drag that, and then once done, then you have it. You can also change the appearance. If you would like it to be full image, then you can just simply uncrop. There you go, and the text remains to be there. This can also be achieved by just using the layouts, because when you click the layouts, you will be given a placeholder for the image and then the placeholder for the text. So there, that's how we add objects to our web page. Next, on the right side, this is also where you are going to find the different tabs needed to create the website. So the next one is pages. So when you click pages, obviously this is the place where you are going to add pages. So right now we only have one page in our Google site. To add another one, we click the plus icon here and then select the new page. So let's say, for example, the new page is about, um, let's say, my subjects. And then click the done button. If you notice at the top, we now have home and we now have my subjects pages. When you go back to home, you will be able to see the very first page that we saw earlier. And then when you click the my subjects, you will be able to edit the my subjects web page. So let's say, for example, here, I would like to add to insert a text also. So let's say these or this page contains the different subjects I have this school year. There. So you are able to or you will be able to add objects also on the other page. Now, let's say I would like to add another page, but this time it should be a sub page. So meaning to say it should be under my subjects. So to do that, you can go to the name of the page on the right side under the Pages tab, and then click the three dot symbol or more options. And then let's say I'll click Add Subpage, which name is Biology. Okay. And then I'll click Enter or the Done button. I'll press that. And now, as we can see, biology is already under the My Subjects. And when you click this drop down, you will also be able to see biology there. So if you have other subjects that need to be added under the My Subjects, so you can again press the more options here and then select Add Subpage. And then let's say this one is computer and then click the Done button. As you can see, it's still under the My Subjects primary page. Okay, now let's create, let's say, another primary page, not a sub page. To review, you just click the plus icon here and click the new page. And then this one will appear, this will pop out or pop up. I'll just simply type in, let's say, contact me, and then click the done button. And another page appeared at the top of your screen. So we were able to create a total of three primary pages and two sub pages. Then, if you would like to put information about yourself, let's say contact details of you as the teacher of those students, you click contact me. You can change the title if you don't want it to be contact me. Let's say contact details. So you can modify it there. But if you notice, the name of the page remains. And then here at the bottom, you can add or you can insert objects. So I'll click insert, and then let's say I would like to add a text box. So here's my email address. Let's say that's the email address. Uh, and then once you are done, you can just select elsewhere. And then if you have to add another object, then you just have to select it here. Now, what about the themes? So for the themes, let's go to the home page. For the themes, let's say I would like to change it to impression. So you will see that the theme has been changed. You can also change the header type of the of your page. When you click this, you have cover, you have large banner, banner, title only if you don't have or if you don't want a picture. So I'll select the default, which is the banner, and then you can also supply your own image. So you can upload an image there and then select from your computer. So that's how we change the theme of your website. Now, once you are done creating your website, uh, it's not yet visible to other people. That's why you have to publish it. So how do we publish the website? At the upper right side, you will be able to see the publish button. So click that, and then here you will be able to enter what particular address you like. So let's say, for example, I'm okay with GEC level 1 demo, and then once done with specifying the address, you simply click the publish button. So when you click the publish button, this website will now be available to all the people around the world. Okay, so for them to view your website, you go to this link, you go to this icon, which is copy published site link. You click that, and then you simply copy the link and then share it with other people. So that's how we share the website to viewers of your website. Now, what if you would like to or you are tasked to share it to someone that will become an editor of your website? So meaning to say there will be two people um, working on the website, you and your colleague. So how are you going to share this to your colleague so that your so that uh, he or she will be able to change also the content of your website. So to do that, we'll just simply click this icon, and then we can specify here the email address. So let's say the email address is this one, and then I can make him as published viewer, and I can also make him as an editor. Since I would like him to edit the content of the website, therefore we have to select editor. We can notify him, and then send a message, and then click the send button. So once done, the expectation is that person will also be able to modify your website. There. So every change that you do on the website, let's say you added another uh, object here, let's say an image. Let me upload another image. Let's say this one. I added that image again. I added a new one. That will not be available, or that will not be seen by your viewers yet, because you still have to publish the website. So every change that you do on the website, you have to publish for the world to see the changes happen on your site. So let's go back to the file that we are using now. We are done with the um, familiarization of the different parts of the Google Sites. We were able to create a web page, uh, and then subpage. I was also able to show how to create or to specify the title, how to insert the object, and change the theme. So if you weren't able to follow that, you have two options. You can go back here on the file. There's a demo also, or you can go back to our recording, to watch me again demonstrating how we did that earlier. We were also able to create pages and subpages. I was also able to share with you how you can make someone uh, an editor of your website, and how to publish it. So basically, those are the um, tasks, or those are the skills needed for Google Sites. Okay, so here is the challenge for this application. You are to create a new site and title it My Class Site. You are also tasked to create three pages, which are class calendar, student work, and about me. Therefore, you have a total of uh, four pages, because you will also have the home page. Okay. Remember, when you create a when you create a page, um, the home appears automatically at the top. So you have home, class calendar, student work, and about me. And then you also have to create a subpage of student work and title it model student work. Okay, so you have one subpage, and that is under the student work. You consider adding images, text, video, embed file from Drive, and more. So you explore the different objects that you can add. Okay, but that's not required in our challenge. So it's up to you if you would like to demonstrate that in your screenshot or in your output. And then you have to publish to the web. After you are done with this, you screenshot your output and then email it to my email address, and then the title or the subject line is sites. Okay, so we are almost done with the 12 applications that we need in GEC level 1. So the remaining applications are um, uh, groups and then YouTube. Okay, so we are almost done. But let me go back to the comments. Maybe there are some questions. Okay. So I am unable to see other questions or new questions here, but if you do have, don't hesitate to write it there. Okay, let's move on to the next part, which is groups. So groups is the application that we use if we'd like to create group email address for threaded conversation. So let's say, for example, you have your students, and you would like to create one email address in which if someone sends an email to that group email address, all of the students included, or part of the group, will receive the email. Okay, so that is achieved by groups. here are the skills that you have to learn for groups. You should know how to launch. You should also know how to create and then use the group email address. Okay. For launching, or by the way, before we proceed, I have here an example. You just simply click that button. Again, the file, let me go back to the screen. The file there that you can see on my screen is bit.ly/gec part 4. When you open that file, you will be able to see the file that I am demonstrating right now, or displaying right now. And this button, you click that and you will be able to go to the Google Group sample. So this is the sample group. This is actually the group that I created for our training. So right now I have 43 members. Let's say, for example, you are not yet done um, joining this group. What you will see there is join group. Okay, you click that and then just follow the on-screen instructions for you to be able to join this group. Okay, let's move on to the next part, which is how to launch. So for groups, I think, again, this is also one of the tools that we don't normally use, but it's again very helpful. So to go there, you go to the apps launcher and then find the groups symbol or icon, which is this one. Okay. If it's not there, you can go to groups.google.com. So let me show you how to go there. I'll open another tab and then type in groups.google.com. Right now, I have these different groups. If I would like to create a new one, I will just simply click the create group button here. So I'll click create group and then this pop-up will appear. This is where I will be able to specify the group name. So let's say the group name is biology class. Okay. If it's not yet taken, you will be able to use that. If it's already taken in your domain, for example, you can change it to, let's say, biology class 101. Okay. Then you can provide description. Let's say this group is for Mr. Repatacodo's class. And then you click the next button. The next part, this is where you're going to specify who can search for the group. So if I would like all the people in the world to be able to find or to search the group, then I can select anyone on the web. Okay, so I can, in the meantime, that's the one that I'm going to select. Who can join group? So anyone can. Sorry, only invited users. Anyone can ask and anyone can join. So those are the three options for this drop down. For the only invited users, meaning to say, I need to enter the email addresses so that they are invited. But if I don't have the email addresses of my students, I can simply select anyone can ask or anyone can join. So the difference between the two, in the anyone can ask, you still have to approve. But in anyone can join, when they join, there's no approval needed because they will automatically join. So let's say anyone can ask is the one I prefer. And then here's the privacy settings. Who can view conversations? So once the group is already created, who will be able to see the conversations in that group? So I'm not going to select anyone on the web because I would like to make it private to my group members. Who can post? Only the group members. Who can view members? The group members also. But if you like, you can also change it to group managers. But since I would like my students to see where um, the email coming from, so I'll select group members. Then I'll press the next button for the last screen in the creation of the group. So here, this is where you can put members. This is where you can also put managers' email addresses. So these are their roles. But if you don't have those email addresses, it's fine, because anyway, we specified it as a group that will accept students, and then um, we still have to approve them if they will really be accepted to be part of the group. Okay, so because earlier, remember when we press the back, we selected anyone can ask. Next, subscription. So you have four options here: each email, digest, abridged, and no email. So let's define first this four. I'll go back to the presentation file. These are the different subscription options. So each email refers to, I mean, the expectation for each email is the members will receive each email individually as they are sent. So meaning to say, once there is an email, then the member will receive it also. Uh, that's for each email. For digest, it will get up to 25 full new messages bundled into a single email. So instead of receiving each email, what will happen is it will be grouped first before it is sent to the group members. Okay. How about for the abridged? For the abridged, it's more messages that will be grouped or that will be combined into one email. So that's 150 messages. If it doesn't reach 150, at the end of the day, it will still be sent. Same with the digest. If it doesn't reach 25, then if it's just 18, then it will be sent at the end of the day. No email if you don't want the group members to receive an email, even if there's already an email sent by one of the members. What they need to do is go to the group's web page so that they will see the email. Okay. Now, for this particular group, I would like all of them to receive each email. As they come in, it will also be sent to the student. So each email, and then I'll click create group. And then I'll just select the create group button here. Now, as you can see, I already have biology class 101 group. So the email address of this group is biology class 101 at googlegroups.com. So let's say for example, I already have 10 members here. If I am going to send um, an email to those 10 students, I'm not going to send it individually. Instead, I am going to use the group email address so that it will save time on my end. And I will just make use of the group email address that we created. Okay. So let me give you an example. I'll go to gmail.com. So that's my personal email address. This is my personal email address. And I'll click the compose button. Okay. Let's just wait for it to load. There. So I am going to type in not the individual email address of the members of the group. Instead, I'm going to type in biology class 101 at googlegroups.com. Okay. And hit enter. So there. Let's say the subject is biology. Sorry, welcome. Okay. And then here, let's say hi. Thanks for joining the group. Okay. Okay, for example, that is the message that I would like to send. If I click the send button, it will be sent to all the members joined in that group. Okay. Now, you will also be able to see the message in your group's um, web page. So when you click this, you will be able to see there that I sent an email earlier. Okay. So if the student doesn't want to receive each email, if he prefers no email, then he has to go to this place for him to read the message. But if he specified, um, or if you specified each email, then that means the student will be receiving email in their Gmail when you send to that particular email address. Okay, so that is for the Google Groups. Again, we use Google Groups to send email to a group of people in which you don't need to type in each email address in the to field. Instead, you can just use the Google Groups email address that you created and uh, the Google Groups that they have joined. Okay, so there. Before I proceed to the challenge, let me first check if there are some questions here. So I'm not seeing any questions. Maybe you can also comment what your what is your impression to the tools that might be the might be new to you, or maybe you would like to also share something about the applications that we are using right now. Okay, so the chat box is not only for questions. We can also make use of that for sharing information. Now we are going to proceed to the last application. That is after I tell you the challenge. So you use your personal Google account for this activity. I understand that there are participants here who already have subscribed to Google for Education. So I want you to use your personal Google account, create a new Google group and title it your last name, class group, and add group description. Anyone on the web can search your group and anyone can join. For privacy settings, only group members can view conversations and members of that particular group. And also, they are the only ones who can post. Okay? So, meaning to say, only the group members can view, can see who are the members, and can post on your created group. I would like you to directly add two colleagues to be members of your group, and those members prefer to receive email in bundles of 25. So remember, in the group, you can also add members. I think I wasn't able to demonstrate that earlier. Let me do that. So I'll go back to our group. And here, let's say, for example, I am going to add members to this biology class 101. So where should I go? On the left side, you will be able to see people and then members. So you click members, and then at the top, you will see add members. So you just simply click that and then type in the name or the user's email address. So let's say V, this is the other email address. And then remember, you have two email addresses that you need to add here. So let's say I am done entering the email addresses. Remember that these users would like to receive email in bundles of 25. So which one do you think should be selected? Is it each email, digest, abridged, and no email? So that should reflect on the output that you're going to submit as evidence for this application. Okay, so let's say we are done with that. Let's go back to the file. Um, Again, you have to screenshot your output and email your evidences to my email address, and the subject line is groups. Okay. So before we proceed to the last part, which is about YouTube, I think we can have 1 minute break. Okay. Then after 1 minute, we can go back here and then continue with YouTube. I will read your comments. So during our brain break, maybe you can also write your comments there. I am happy that I was able to share something new to you. I see that one of the participants mentioned that this is new to her, and she would like to share it with her students. Okay, very good. Again, to those who are just joining us this afternoon, you can go to bit.ly or bit.ly/GEC part 4 for the file that I am showing right now. Okay, so we are done with the 1 minute break. We'll now proceed to the last application, which is YouTube. And for YouTube, these are the things that we have to know: how to launch, how to search and filter, how to subscribe, how to share a video, how to create a channel, how to create a playlist, how to edit your playlist, and how to share your playlist. Um, I know that some of you might not have channels yet, YouTube channels yet, but if you really want to get the examination, the GEC Level 1 certification, you should be able to demonstrate how to create a YouTube channel. So that means we have to learn these things. So let's begin on how to launch. And by the way, I also provided here an example. So when you go to this file, to the bit.ly file, you just have to click this button. And this is the YouTube channel that I actually created uh, a year ago. And here you will be able to see the videos that I also created. Okay. And in your examination, you are not actually required to create a brand new video, um, but you are required to look for videos in which you are going to create a playlist. Okay, so there. So let's begin discussing the content or the skill set needed for YouTube. The first one is how to launch. Obviously, we can use the Google Apps Launcher and look for the YouTube symbol, or we can go to youtube.com. Okay, so here is an example. Next, how to search. I will open a YouTube website or the YouTube website, and then, so like what I mentioned earlier, I'll type in youtube.com, and then how are we going to search? So to search, you see here the search box. So let's say I would like to search for Olympics 2021 or 2020. So there, these are the results of my search. If I would like to filter the search, I have here the filter option. Let's say I would like to just watch videos that are under 4 minutes. So under 4 minutes, I'll select that. And you will notice that these are the videos that appeared which are less than 4 minutes. And most of the times, the content of this depend on your previous searches. Okay, there. So these are under 4 minutes. So that's how we search and how we filter um, keywords in our YouTube. Okay, there. So next, let's proceed to the next item, which is how to subscribe. So let's say, for example, I'll go to GMA News. So this one. So this is the video. And let's say we are required to subscribe. So I'll just simply press the subscribe button. And then after that, um, if the question or the task asks you to press the bell, not the notification symbol or the bell icon here, you also click that, and then you can select either personalized or all. So let's say all is the selection. So there, we were able to successfully subscribe to the channel. Now, what if you are tasked to share the video to your students and you have to send the link of the video to or through Gmail? So, how do we do that? Here, you will be able to see the share icon. You click that, and then you will see this window pops up. You just simply click copy, and then after selecting, the link is copied to your clipboard, and then you can just simply paste that to your Gmail or to your email, to the email addresses of your students. Okay, so that's how we share video. Now, let's take a look at our file again. We are done with sharing the video. Again, we just simply click the share button there or share icon under the video. Now, how do we create a channel? So to create a channel, what you're going to do is click your profile picture at the upper right side of the screen. So for me, it's this one. So this is the profile picture. You click that, and then select create a channel. So I'll press create a channel, and then this one will appear. You will be asked if this is the name that you would like to provide, and you can also upload your preferred picture. Once done, click the create channel. I am not going to create the channel anymore because this is my school account. Okay, my personal accounts, I already created my channels there. But the expectation, once you create the channel, it will automatically create your channel. And what you're going to see is like this. So let me just change my profile. Okay, so let me switch account to this. So this is what you're going to see. Hold on. Once you created your channel. So instead of having create a channel option, it will be replaced with your channel. So I am going to press your channel. And as we can see, this is now the channel of this particular person. Okay. Right now, it has playlist. Um, because I demonstrated this in other batches. Okay, so just ignore this one. In real life or in a scenario in which you just created the channel, this will not appear. What you will see here is just a blank page. Okay. Now, let's say I would like to create a playlist. So we are done creating the YouTube channel. What if you are asked to create a playlist in the examination? So what you can do is go to the left side, and here you will be able to um, see the the different options. Okay. Actually, right now I already created two playlists. Um, for my demonstration, I think I will just leave that as is for now. Okay, just ignore them. What I'm going to do is just create the playlist here. Okay, you notice there's a playlists label here or tab. You simply click that, and then um, uh, let me first click the customize channel. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. Let's redo that. Okay. Let's first again you click your channel. Okay. Once you're in your channel, you click the customize channel. Okay. And then you will be directed to this area, which is your channel customization. On the left side, you will see playlists. Okay. You click that, and then at the top, at the upper right side, you will see new playlist. So that's the one that you're going to click to create a brand new playlist. So let's say, for example, the new playlist is about computer for my students. So let's say computer, okay? That's the title. And then the visibility is you have options. Either you want it public, private, or unlisted. So public, all the people in the world will be able to see it. Private, you are the only one who can see it. And then listed, only the people who have the link to your playlist will be able to see it. Okay. So, or who will be able to know the link in order to access it. So for now, I'll select public, and then I'm going to select the create button. Okay. So right now I have additional playlist, and that is computer. I am going to edit it. To edit, you just simply click the pencil icon, and then this new tab will appear. And here you will be able to see um, the playlist itself. Let's say I would like to edit it. So I would like to change it to computer 2021. And then I can also change it. Oops, I have to press the save button, and then I'll have to change the description. Let's say this is for my students who, this is for my students for this school year. There. And then you can click the save button. On the right side, this is where you're going to see the videos that you're going to add in your playlist. Right now, it doesn't have because we haven't added any videos in the playlist yet. The option for you to add video is to click this more options and then select add videos. So you click that, and then if you know the URL of the video, you select that. If you have your own videos, you select that. But let's say I just want to search video about computer. So I'll enter the keyword computer and I'll click the search icon here. And then let's say this is the one I would like to uh, include in the playlist. And then I'll click add videos. And right now, as we can see, the video is already added in the playlist. Okay. Let's add another video. I'll click this one and then select add videos. And then I'll look for another computer video. And then let's say this one. And then I'll select add videos. The expectation is all of those videos that you added will appear on the right side since they are already included in your playlist. So you can also adjust the order. You can drag and drop, okay? And you can also sort it based on the date it was added, um, which is the most popular, the date it was published. Okay, so for example, that's okay with me. And right now, I have successfully created the playlist for my students. Now, the question is, how will your students be able to see the content of your playlist? So the answer to that is by looking at the share option. So on the left side, you will see the share icon. So you click that and then simply copy the link. So it's this one, copy. And then once it's copied, you can paste it in your Gmail and send it to your students. So there, that's how we create playlists, edit the content of your playlist, add videos to your playlist, and share your playlist to your students. Now, let's say, for example, you are watching a video about computer. So let's go back here to home, and then I am going to search for computer keyword. And while watching the video, you realize that it's like a very good video for your students. That will be very helpful to understand the concept. So if that's what you want, what you can do is click the save button here, and then you will be able to select which particular playlist you're going to add the video. So for example, that's computer 2021. And then here also you will be able to create a new playlist. So if you don't want to create playlist using the method I demonstrated earlier, which required you to go to your channel, customize your channel, and create the playlist there, what you can do is just go to the specific video, and then click the save button and then select the create new playlist. That's easier. Okay. But right now I have already the playlist. So I just simply selected the computer 21 and that's it. It's already saved in the computer playlist. Okay. Where are we going to see? Let's say I would like to know where or what are the playlists that I have already created. You can go to your channel, or you can also just simply go to the menu, because on the menu you will be able to see the things that you have already added. Let's refresh this. And here you have computer 2021 playlist, biology videos playlist, and then biology videos with a different date playlist. So all the playlists will be placed here, and also all your subscriptions. So for this account, I haven't subscribed um, to any yet, so it doesn't show up here. There. Okay, so that's how we actually work in YouTube. So those skills that I discussed are very important in order for you to get the tasks that will be given during the examination. Okay, so let me go back to our chat box and let me see if there are questions. Okay. This is actually regarding the groups. Thank you very much for having the interest to try that. Okay. Same with the sites. So let's now proceed to the last part. Okay. So what is the last part of our discussion today? It's actually about how to register. So once you are prepared, once you have reviewed and you feel like you are already um, equipped with the knowledge to get the certification, this is what we are going to do. Okay, so let me share with you the file that I am going to use. So if you would like to have your own copy of the file or you have the access to the file, you can go to bit.ly GEC part 5 there. So you just simply go there and then you will see this particular file that I am going to present. Okay. Oh, by the way, I forgot to share with you before we proceed here the challenge for YouTube. Okay, so this is the last challenge for you for the Google applications. So you create your YouTube channel if it's not yet activated. I would like you to find the 5-minute lessons by Victor YouTube channel and subscribe and click the notification bell. If you are already subscribed, then thank you very much. Find a video tutorial about Google Sheets in the said channel. So I have their Google Sheets video. So I would like you to just find one and then send its link to a colleague via email. Okay. I would also like you to create your own playlist with 3 videos about Google Sheets and share its link to a colleague in email or via email. Screenshots your output, send your evidence to the email address, and then the subject line is YouTube. So if you have questions about YouTube, you can also use the chat box that we have so that I will be able to answer that right away. Okay. Okay, so we are going to proceed to the last part. This is for real. This is the last part. How do I register for Google for Education certification exam? The reason also why I would like you to access the file, which is the bit.ly/GEC part 5, is it contains links of the websites that you need to go to in order for you to register. Okay, so these are the things that we're going to cover: how to create an account in order for you to register for the GEC level 1, and how to pay, and then some tips for you to ace the examination. So to create an account, this is the website. It's edu.google.com/teacher dash center. So you can just click that, or I can actually type that here: edu.google.com/teacher center. And then I'll click and or I'll hit enter on my keyboard. Since we are looking for certifications, then we have to select certifications, select which particular level. So we are in level 1, select that. And then um, on this page, this is where you're going to register. Okay, so when you click register, uh, if it's your first time to register on this site, what will happen is you will see fields where you are going to put details. Okay, so I already took a screenshot of that. Let me share that here. So for example, you are already registering. Um, when you click the register button, this is the page that you're going to see. You're going to fill out the the form with your login, password, uh, and other details. Okay, so you just have to fill that out. My suggestion is to make use of your personal email address to be used as your login. Okay, because I already heard some stories of my colleagues that they made use of the school account and they were not able to receive the confirmation email from the Criterion website. So my suggestion is to use personal Google email address. Now, what if you are done registering, okay, or if you already have a registered account in this particular website? So what you're going to see next is this one. So what you're going to do is go to this portion. This contains the different steps for you to take the exam. So the only thing that you need to do here is click this one, create account or log in. So I'll click log in, and then I will be asked which particular account will I log in. So what I used here is this one. So I will just simply click that, and then I will see my account. So after you register, this is the expected page that you're going to see next. Okay, and then um, there. So we were able to create the account already. That's how simple we create the account in Criterion. What's next? So the next is how to register. So to register, you just simply click the register for an exam. So it's this one. Okay. After clicking that, you will be able to see this page. Okay. What you're going to select here is for educators. So if you don't have level 1 yet, you're going to see this button, buy now button. That's what you're going to select. So I'll click buy now. Again, make sure that it's level 1 because you might see there also level 2 and then trainer. You have to select the appropriate or the correct level. So in your case, it's level 1. So this is like the shopping cart. Okay. If you have a voucher, you can put it here. If you don't have, you can just simply scroll down after checking the content of this page. So right now we are being informed that we are going to pay $10. So it will be converted to peso uh, in your supplied ATM or savings or credit card. Okay. So what appears on my end when I registered, um, I think it's around 600, 500 to $600 during that time. Okay. So once I'm done verifying that it's for level 1, I'll just simply click add another, sorry, I'll click checkout. Okay, I'll select checkout, and then I will be seeing this billing information. So as you can see, it's worth $10. So just convert it to peso, and then you will be asked for your credit card, but you can also make use of your debit card. So what I used here is my debit. What I used before was my debit card, and it went successfully. Okay, there, and then you put the CVC. You supply the necessary details for the card type and then the expiration date, and then once done, you click the submit button. Okay, so once done clicking the submit button, um, you will be informed that you are going to receive a confirmation email within 24 hours. So, what is the appearance of the email that you're going to receive? What's the content of that? Allow me to share what I received before. So, um, this is the one that I received. So, it came from admin at myeduscert.org. So, it arrived less than 24 hours. So this is the sample confirmation email. You are going to be informed that your examination is ready and you have 8 days to log into the exam. But I suggest that you take it right away because uh, some people are saying that it's not actually 8 days. What they are saying is on the 8th day is already expired. So for you to not have that same problem, I suggest that you take it right away. Don't wait for the 8th day anymore. Okay. And remember, we are using Philippine time, and what we have here is a Zulu time. Okay, so to avoid confusion in conversion of the time, I suggest that you take it on your first, second, or third day after you confirmed your booking. There. So next, what you're also going to see on your email, on the confirmation email, are some tips on how you will be able to get a good result in the examination. And aside from that, you will be informed of your credentials. So you will be given an email address and then password. These are uh, like dummy accounts, the accounts that you're going to use during the examination. So after the examination, you will not be able to use them anymore. So also be careful because once you submit your exam, even if it's not yet done, you will not be able to access again your exam using the credential because you already submitted it. So you be careful with that. There, those are the expectations that you have for the confirmation email. Okay. Now, this part, I am going to share with you some tips for the examination. So I categorize them into before, during, and after the exam. So before the exam, be very familiar and comfortable using the core Google Workspace tools. So during our training, I gave you 12 um, uh, core Google tools. All of those tools will be required for you to for you to demonstrate in the examination. So be familiarized with that. I know that the examination is not easy. When I took the exam, it wasn't easy for me because I haven't used all the tools yet. Okay, that's why we really have to study. Okay, we really have to practice, and I hope those challenges that I gave you, you will be able to see them helpful in your examination. Also, you have to know the different parts of the exam. You will be given, by the way, 180 minutes to take the exam. So that's for 3 hours. And it is divided into two: multiple choice and practical application scenarios. So the practical scenarios are classroom based scenarios. There. You also have to learn a range of ideas and strategies for using Google Workspace tools in classroom by completing the fundamentals training course. So I suggest before taking the exam, you go to this course first. So the link is already there. Um, you have to complete this so that you will know what are the possible questions that will be given in the multiple choice part of the exam. So the multiple choice part, um, they are based on this course. Um, this course is actually giving us strategies on how we can become better educators using the technologies, um, especially provided by Google. Okay. But if you are confident, even without going through this, it's your decision. But my suggestion really is for you to read all of these. Okay. So there, you allot, I think, a day or half of your day to read all of this. Next, going back to our file. So again, the link is there. You just have to simply click that. Next is for you to prepare your valid ID before the exam. Why? Because during the exam, you are going to take a screenshot. You're going to show your face and your ID. Okay? The ID must be valid. You run technical checks like updating to the latest Chrome version. You also have to know how to use incognito browser. I think that was yesterday when I demonstrated how to use the incognito window. You make sure also no other account is logged in, even if it's in incognito window, because it might mix up during the examination, and you might be confused what particular account are you using. Practice using your camera, okay, and then choose distraction-free location with stable internet connection. So those are the things that you have to remember before the exam. Now, what are the things that I can say as tips during the exam? Copy the credentials from the confirmation email, the sample that I gave earlier, and then paste it to the testing site. You will also see the link to the testing site on the confirmation email that you will receive. The reason behind copying and pasting it is for you to avoid typos. Next is pay attention to details. So if you are required to give a file name, which is attendance, so let's say that's the title, attendance, make sure that it's properly spelled. Because if it's not, then the computer will not be able to see that when it checks your answer. Okay, so whatever you did in that file, if it's not properly titled, it they will become um, useless because they will not be checked by the computer. So it's possible. That's why you have to make sure that you pay attention to details and instruction. You manage your time. Remember earlier I said we only have 3 hours. There are 15 to 20 multiple choice questions that includes drag and drop, ordering, selecting multiple answers, and 10 to 12 performance based scenarios. So in the multiple choice, it could also be products based. That's why you have to really know what's the purpose of the different applications that we have used. You have to, my suggestion is to close files and apps after you use them or after you have finished with them so that you have clean space for your examination. Because if you have a lot of tabs, then it will also consume your time to look for the particular tab that you're going to use. There. Next is to use the search box in Google Drive if you find it hard to look for the files required to use in a task. Remember, you will be given an account, and in that account you are going to have files in Google Drive. If you find it hard to find the file that is asked in the task, what I suggest is to use the search box. Next, when you first use your Google Classroom, I think I mentioned this earlier. You might be asked if you are a student or a teacher. Choose the correct option based on the scenario. So remember, this is a classroom-based scenario. If you are asked to become the teacher, then you should select the teacher option. If there are strange things happening on a Google app, refresh the page. So let's say for some reasons it doesn't show um, a button on your screen. So it might be possible that um, the internet is not so strong, the connection is not strong. So what you have to do is just refresh it. Next is some tools require age from users. Enter what is specified in the task's instructions. So you really have to read carefully the task so that you will know what are the details to be supplied. As much as possible, don't leave any unanswered multiple choice questions. Tick the mark for review checkbox if needed, and you can go back to the question if you still have time. Okay? Uh, at the bottom of the question, you will be able to see there a checkbox. You check that for you to know that that question you need to go back to if you still have time when you finish the last question of the exam. Next is after completing all the tasks, you will be presented with a review page. If you still have time, review your marked for review questions. Okay? But if you don't have time anymore, whatever you have answered, those are the things that will be automatically submitted. That's why I suggest that you really have to answer, even if it's just a guess, answer it. It's still better than not answering at all. Okay? You will not be able to log in the account after you submit the exam. Now, what about after the exam tips? So exam results are sent by GFE-certifications at google.com within 3 business days of completing your exam. So you watch out for the result from this email address in your Gmail. If passed, you may publicize your status with your personalized certificate and badge on your resume, portfolio, website, and more. And the certification is valid for 36 months. If failed, you will not receive detailed review of incorrect answers. You can take it again after 14 days, and the payment is required each time you take an exam. So, what if you fail the second time? You will be given 60 days to, I mean, after 60 days to take the exam again. There, and after that, um, a year after, that's the time that you can retake. But I'm sure if you are really going to study our training modules, the training files that I sent to you, and then the fundamentals training course, I am really positive that you will be able to pass it too. And based on the uh, your output that you are sending as evidences, I feel like you really want to get the certification. There. So that actually ends the discussion for our 2-day training uh, for Google Certification Level 1. Again, I am Victor Nilo Repatacodo, and I would also like to ask a favor from the participants today. If you can please answer the feedback form, that will really help me in improving my training skills. Okay, so you just simply click this link, and you will be directed to the Google Forms of the um, feedback form. Okay. Now let me go back to our chat box and let me see if there are comments or maybe suggestions for next trainings, and then if there are questions. Okay, so that's correct, ma'am. All the challenges are already placed on the slides. Okay, so if you have further questions that you weren't able to write here in the chat box, what you can do is actually go to the file, and you will also see there this button, in which when you click that, you will be able to see this form where you can write your questions. Okay, so thank you very much for attending this afternoon's training. um, I think that's it. Good luck to all of you who's going to take the examination. And let's say you are not going to really take the exam. I hope all the things that I have shared with you today and yesterday are going to be helpful in your um, uh, job, or yes, job as a teacher, or profession as a teacher. Okay, so that's all for this afternoon. Thank you very much again. Bye bye, everyone. Thank you.